Hello everybody, this is Havoc. Welcome to the Total War Warhammer Magic Spell Guide series. This is a series dedicated to explaining the spells, not necessarily the history of them or anything of that nature, but simply how they function within Total War Warhammer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be going through each of the individual spells. I will explain them, kind of explain what they do, and then you will actually see a demonstration. It will be a very small demonstration. These will not be big battles. It will be simply to show their capabilities. Now, one thing to mention is that, as mentioned by Milk and Cookies Total War, these do not expand or contract, I guess, with the unit size, meaning that on unit size very small, these spells are majorly OP, especially some of the later ones. They could take down a hero almost within one single use. Whereas on the ultra unit size, since their health is greatly expanded, it will do the exact opposite. It has less of an effect. That's something that Total War needs to fix. Because that's a little unfair on the smaller scale. For this series, I will be doing on the ultra unit size. I am simply going to show you what it does, and so you can see the effect of it, not necessarily how effective it is, or I guess, how effective it is, because a majority of these spells you're not really going to want to use, especially on the large to ultra unit size. So let's go ahead and hop right into it, and we will start with the big WAAAGH. Alright guys, well we'll start with the first spell. This is the Foot of Gork. The shaman implores the skies with wild gesticulations. The almighty green foot of the orc god descends to crush the foe. The unit that uses this is of course the orc shaman. He is the only one out of all of the green skin units who uses it, so this is limited to him alone. This is an explosion type of spell. The duration is for 10 seconds on the ground at 200 meters. That is quite impressive. You cannot use this if I'm assuming that the orc shaman is climbing, and we cannot target a unit that is flying. Of course, it's a ground spell, so that's not necessarily. I think it means that the Foot of Gork targets only ground targets. The effects are a large strike area. It can disrupt unit formation, causes magical damage, is strong versus multiple units, and weak versus a single combatant. Costs 15. Wins the magic, and then it takes 24 seconds to reload. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like on the battlefield. Alright guys, so here we are on the battlefield. We have just a basic setup here. I have 2 black orcs against 2 black orcs. We have to have some sort of war boss, so I did the orc war boss. But here we are. We're going to wait until these guys actually engage in melee before I show off the Foot of Gork. So as you can see, explosion 10 seconds, ground 200 meters, so we could have shot him from 200 meters. The only thing is, it doesn't target a specific unit, it targets the area. So we are going to have to wait until we know that we can hit them before we actually engage with this. So we're going to go in Foot of Gork. They're engaged right there. We're going to drop it right in the middle of that guy, and we're going to sit back and watch what happens. And then we'll see exactly what damage the Foot of Gork. Oh, it's epic. What damage did it cause? They lost half a unit. So get this, guys, half a unit of black orcs at 9 experience rank chevrons. That's pretty intense, and you're definitely going to cause some damage with that. Again, the recharge rate is 24 seconds. At the current max of 30 power, you could set that off right away again. So we're going to do it to this guy just real quick. We're going to fast forward 4, 3. Let's do it one more time just to show it off. Let's show it off right. We're going to step back so we can see it. Look at that. Oh, Gork's stomp is epic. And then those guys, again, they lost half of their units. So guys, that is the Foot of Gork. It's pretty epic. I like it a lot, and it can take out a crucial unit, a really high tier unit. That's what I would use it for. Alright, next up we have Here We Go. As the shaman chants, he leaks fighty energy, boosting the fierceness and prowess of friendly units nearby. This is an augment area effect, which means it's augmenting the troops, making them better and or worse. Instantly affects targets in the area. For 35 seconds, it targets the allies at an effect range of up to 200 meters, and then, I guess the effect range is 30 meters. He can cast it up to 200 meters away to his allies. The effects of Here We Go is plus 58 melee attack, so for 35 45 seconds, those troops will have plus 58 melee attack. That's pretty incredible, I'm not going to lie. So here we go, costs 11 winds of magic. The cooldown time is 20 seconds. Obviously you can't repeat that super fast, so be sure when you want to use it. And let's see what it looks like on the battlefield. Alright guys, so here we go. This is with the here we go augment. And we're going to use it right before he hits. I'm actually going to engage this guy so he'll stay out of the battle. And then here we go. It takes a few seconds, so you want to do it right before a good charge. That buffs them. And then we're actually going to buff this guy. We're going to buff our own troops with the black orcs. And then we're going to do a WAAAGH. Between all of those, look at this unit. He's got 58 melee attack, he's got 34 melee attack, and then 34 melee attack again. And then he had some leadership going on there. So combined, especially the Orc Shaman with the Orc War Boss or any of the melee guys, is a pretty good way to make sure that these guys will do some damage. So as you can see, we're going to keep going. The cooldown time is 20 seconds, and it's actually a double cooldown, as I found out. I'm not sure why. Maybe because it's an augment. And, you know, we mixed and combined with the Foot of Gork. You could probably actually do it. So let's do it again. There we go. And you see the enemy Orc War Boss is definitely taking some hits. If we were to rout him, he would probably win. We would probably win. I think going against guys straight up like this, two black orcs against each other, probably isn't the best scenario, but it's the one we got, and so as you can see, just using that really helped us with our defense as well. Alright guys, the next one is the Fists of Gork. So we have the Foot of Gork, and now we have the Fists, plural, of Gork. And a fit of fighting fury, the target unit becomes harder than iron, increasing both its attack and defense capabilities. This again, it is an augment spell. Duration is for 21 seconds. It can target allies up to 200 meters away, and the effects are plus 34 melee attack, plus 36 melee defense, and plus 22% weapon damage. So as the Here We Go has plus 58 melee attack, this has a little more buffers for a little less Winds of Magic power. The Winds of Magic is only at 8, and the cooldown time is 14 seconds. So it just depends. It's up in the air whether you feel like you want purely melee attack or melee attack, melee defense, and weapon damage. But we're going to go ahead and see what this looks like when we are fighting the enemy. And here we go. We are using the Fists of Gork. This gives us plus 34 melee attack, plus 36 melee defense, plus 22% weapon damage. It is a target specific, and this is not an area of effect. So they're heading towards that guy. I'm actually going to buff him there. I'm going to throw in the other things with the War Boss, and we're going to charge in. And so he should have some pretty big buffs that will help him take on these guys. Let's see, he still got it because it lasts, what was it? It lasts 21 seconds, so he'll have that buff for 21 seconds. And as you can see, it is working decently well. We're going to give Foe Seeker to our War Boss so we can help fight off that boss. There is a mod that takes out the Legendary Lord, so you can do this kind of scenario without the overpowering presence of the War Boss. But it's currently buggy and broken right now, so I can't use it. I wish it was there. I wish we could have it, but alas, we cannot. We're going to use Fist of Gorks again, of Gorka. There we go. And that should be the end, and that should make these guys rout pretty hard. Correction, it should. Again, especially with the orcs, you want to do anything that gives them leadership. It's also a little tutorial on their units, I guess. Because leadership is equally as important. It will prevent them from routing and taking down their Legendary Lord. So as you saw, it really does give them a good little boost, and that weapon damage piled on with the melee attack really helps take down good infantry, a good solid infantry, you know, great swords, those kinds of deals. So look, and it respawns very quickly, doesn't cost a whole lot. Oh, and I put it on myself. That's funny. But yeah, so I mean 14 seconds, and it's, even though I guess it does a double cooldown with augments that I'm not quite sure how to understand. But it doesn't cost a whole lot. It only costs 8, so it's a good, repeatable buff that you can keep your units on. As you can see, I'm just continuing. Oh, it does do a double cooldown. Augments are a little different, guys. Go figure. We can fast forward just a little bit. I want to show you all the way to the route, just to show you if you have a good replenishment, then you will definitely be able to consistently use the Fists of Gork all by itself. And that'll be the end. Alright, the next spell is Brain Bursta, projecting violence in a mental wave. The shaman glowers at his target and lets loose a bolt of brain-melting force. This is an explosion type for 7 seconds. It targets the ground at up to 75 meters away, so this is a very close combat situation. They cannot use it if he is climbing, and he cannot target flying units. This gives him a large explosion area, causes magical damage, is strong versus multiple combatants, aka a block of soldiers, and is obviously weak versus a single combatant. It costs only 5 winds of magic and has a cooldown time of 9 seconds. Let's see just how effective it is on the battlefield. Alright guys, it's time to use the Brain Buster. This does not have a very far range, it only has a range of 75, so you can see once you get out of range it shows you how far he has to walk. So we're going to plug it in right there, because I assume it takes a couple of seconds. But we're going to hit him right in the middle. Oh, nice. So as you can see, that doesn't do a whole lot. It really is more of a disruptor than anything else. It's an explosion area, but it didn't do anything against these black orcs whatsoever. It just causes multiple, and we'll try it again once they get engaged. Get everyone in there. But it really just doesn't seem to do a whole lot. It does not seem to be a very, very powerful spell. I'm not quite sure when you would actually use it. The only thing that's good is that it's good as a disruptor from what I can see, because you'll get these guys in line and formation, and I mean this is the 3rd time I'll use this spell, and these guys haven't lost. They won't lose anyone to this. They probably will now. Nope. See, it just kind of disrupts the formation, so that's pretty much what I would use it for, as just a line disruptor. Alright, the next to last spell is Headbutt. A wave of green energy emanates outwards, forming a shockwave of power that assaults any unfortunate foe. This is a breath type, so he burps, big giant belch. Duration of 7 seconds. It targets the ground at up to 150 meters away. That's pretty impressive for a belch. He cannot use if climbing, cannot target a flying unit. It disrupts unit formations. It's strong versus multiple units, causes magical damage, and expands in a tier-shaped attack. So it starts small and ends big. Is weak versus a single combatant, obviously, because it's meant to do a widespread area damage. It costs only 9 winds of magic, and it is on the duration of 15 seconds and a cooldown time. Messed that one up, but that's alright. Let's see what it looks like on the battlefield. Alright guys, next up we have Headbutt. I guess not next up. We have Headbutt. Now as you can see, it starts in a tier-shaped formation. I don't really expect this to do a whole lot of damage, especially not against black orcs. But we'll see what it does anyways. We'll see just how much damage. It may just be a line disruptor. Yep, that's pretty much all that it does, is it disrupts those lines just for a second. Let's see how quick the recharge is. 15 seconds on top of the cooldown. And we'll see what it does again here in just a second, whenever I'm able to throw it at him again. Again, this doesn't have a very far range. It has 150, but I don't expect it to do a whole lot. You can't get too close, as you can see. So let's see. Here's the teardrop. No, it's literally just a line messer-upper. That's the only thing I can think of for it. So again, if you have some units, maybe even a cab charge, it'd be interesting to see if it could counter a cab charge. But aside from that, it's not going to do a whole lot of damage. And last but certainly not least is the Gaze of Mork. Mork gives the shaman the ability to project beams of coruscating energy from his eyes, much like Superman. That doesn't say that, but anyways, this is a magical missiles type. It targets the enemy at 250 meters away, which is very impressive. Cannot use if he is climbing or if he's manning equipment. The projectile range is up to 250 meters, obviously, because you're going to target them at 250 meters max. It is strong versus a single combatant. It is more effective at close range. It is good from a high angle, causes magical damage, but has poor penetration. So you're going to, obviously it's not a, very strong missile attack, but it's good at possibly blowing back a single unit to disrupt them. It costs only 7 magic and has a cooldown duration of 10 seconds. Okay, guys, with the last one, we have the Gaze of Mork. This is strong versus a single combatant, effective at close range. So what we are going to do, we're going to drag our war boss over here. He's going to distract these guys. We're going to engage the war boss, and we're going to get in close range, and we're going to use the Gaze of Mork against this dude, and we'll see what happens. I'm actually going to do this to see what damage. Okay, so I didn't get to see that. Didn't look like it really did a whole lot. It may have blown him back a little bit. But let's see it again if I could get that dumb banner out of the way. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Nope, I'm not seeing it do much. It kind of knocked it down a little bit. The only positive of that, it doesn't cost a whole lot, and the recharge is pretty quick. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of strong things here. The Foot of Gork is easily going to be your strongest thing, and then the Fists of Gork, along with here we go, may be your best augments for the Big WAAGH. But yeah, that will be the final spell in the Big WAAGH. So I hope you guys enjoyed these little battles. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed the spell guide to the Big WAAGH. I will go through every single one of these spell categories and we will see how effective they are on the battlefield, so stay tuned for the rest of those. If you did enjoy this spell guide, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Again, be on the lookout for the rest of them. I'm not sure on the uploading schedule, but I will try to do it semi-regularly, so these upload kind of at the same time on the same days until we get through them. There are 8 different categories, so you're talking, if I did 2 a week, you're talking a 4-week, month-long series. Leave any questions, comments. I'm not actually, super big into the lore of it. I don't know it, so if you have questions of that, go to Lord Rexasaur, go to Milk and Cookies Total War, Overkill Total War. Those guys will have a lot of lore information and can probably tell you a little more effectively on how it works out. Other than that, guys, follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. This is Havoc, and I am out of here. Peace!